On the news, 21 people killed in Nigeria's electoral violence, says European Union observer. Surprises, upsets greet outcome of Saturday's governorship state houses of assembly elections. And INEC suspends collation of governorship election results in Abia and Enugu states over violence. It's a pleasure to have you join us on News Now at this hour. I am Simisola Adigo. The European Union Election Observation Mission in Nigeria has disclosed that at least 21 persons have lost their lives to electoral violence in the just concluded presidential and governorship elections. Speaking at a press conference in Abuja, the chief observer, Barry Andrews, also explained that there were records of vote buying in several parts of the country. He added that there was voter apathy as voters' expectations during the presidential elections were not met.
Of activity happens in the context of an election, it is almost inevitable that it has the effect of suppressing voter participation. And unfortunately, that is something that was very clearly seen on Saturday, where the high level of violence unfortunately had that effect. This doesn't in any way undermine our commitment as a mission to deepening the roots of democracy in Africa. And we'll never turn our back on that mission. And we are honoured to be here at the invitation of INEC and with the cooperation of all of the authorities and with the enthusiasm, by the way, of civil society and political participants. We will never turn our back on that mission. We take that very seriously.
The EU observer, however, commended INEC on the improvement made in the 2023 elections compared to 2019 based on the recommendations made by the EU to the Commission.
We also carried out a follow-up mission from the last presidential elections in 2019, just a year ago, and we were able to identify progress that was made against some of the recommendations from 2019.
The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has commenced the announcement of final results of the just concluded governorship and state houses of assembly elections. While the collation of results is still ongoing, returning officers in states such as Lagos, Ogun, Oyo, amongst others, have announced the outcome of the elections. Our correspondent Folashade Ogurinde in this report details the surprising outcomes and upsets in the election.
It's been 48 hours since the governorship and state houses of assembly election held across 28 states in the country, and now election outcomes have begun trickling in.
That's Makinde Oluseyi Abiodun of PDP, having satisfied the requirements of the law, is hereby declared winner and is returned elected.
First to be announced was the incumbent governor of Oyo State, Seyi Makinde, who polled 563,756 votes to defeat his challengers, including Labour Party's Akinwale Tayo and Teslim Fulani of the APC. Still in the southwest, two other governors retained their governorship seats. Dapo Abiodun of the APC was declared the winner, polling 276,298 votes to defeat his closest rival, Ladi Adebutu of the PDP. In Lagos, the highly contested governorship seat was won by Babajide Sanwo-Olu. It was declared winner in the early hours of Monday, March the 20th, by the returning officer of the governorship and House of Assembly elections in Lagos State, Adenike Oladeji. Sanwo-Olu polled 762,134 votes, defeated his closest rival, Gbadebo Rhodes Vival of the Labour Party, who polled 312,329 votes, and followed by Olajide Adeniro of the People's Democratic Party, who polled 62,449 votes.
To all of our fellow contestants, I want to salute you for participating in the democratic process. But Lagosians have spoken, and they have spoken well. They have spoken loud. Please remember that we're extending a hand of fellowship to you. No victor, no vanquish, in the true spirit of sportsmanship. If you indeed believe that you want to serve this city, you want to serve this state, you have an opportunity with us. And we will open our doors to listen and to give you a space in this government.
Other contestants who have been declared winner are Umo Eno of the People's Democratic Party as Governor-elect Akwa Ibom State, Umar Namadi of the APC as Jigawa State Governor-elect, as well as Bala Mohammed of the People's Democratic Party as Bauchi State Governor-elect.
Yusuf Abba Kabir of NNPP, having satisfied the requirements of the law, is hereby declared the winner and is returned elected.
In Kano State, Abba Kabir Yusuf of the New Nigeria People's Party (NNPP) won the governorship seat in the state. He defeated APC's candidate Nasiru Yusuf Gawuna to emerge winner of the governorship election. Despite the curfew imposed by the Kano State government, residents on Monday stormed the streets to celebrate the governor-elect Abba Kabir Yusuf of the New Nigeria People's Party (NNPP). Kwara State Governor Abdurrahman Abdurrazak, Nasarawa State Governor Abdullahi Sule, Gombe State Governor Inuwa Yahaya, and Maimala Buni of Yobe State are some of the governors from the ruling All Progressives Congress who have been re-elected. In Sokoto State, PDP lost to the APC as Hamad Aliyu beat PDP's Aminu Waziri Tambuwal. In Katsina State, APC's Diko Rada emerged winner, maintaining the party's dominance in the states. Meanwhile, INEC has declared the governorship election in Kebbi State inconclusive owing to massive vote cancellation and overvoting in 20 of the 21 LGAs in the state. Folashade Ogurinde, TV360 News.
The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has suspended the collation of results for Saturday's governorship elections in Abia and Enugu states for further review. In a statement by the INEC National Commissioner, Festus Okoye, the Commission took the decision on Monday after a meeting to assess the conduct of the governorship and state assembly elections held nationwide on Saturday, March 18. Okoye said results collation were suspended in Obingwa local government area of Abia State, where its office was invaded by thugs on Sunday. Similarly, results from Nkanu East and Nsukka local government areas in Enugu State have also been suspended. While appealing for the understanding and patience of voters, parties and candidates in the affected state, Okoye said the process will be concluded after the review. The candidate of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) in Delta State, Sheriff Ovowori, has won the governorship election in the state. Ovowori defeated Ovie Omoagege, the candidate of the All Progressives Congress (APC), to be declared the winner on Monday. The PDP candidate polled 360,234 votes, while Omoagege secured 240,229 votes. Oborevori clinched 21 out of the 25 local government areas of the state, leaving the APC with 4 local government areas. The Kaduna State Chapter of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) has written to the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), reminding the Commission of its provision in the INEC regulations and guidelines in declaring election results. The content of the letter was against the backdrop of the confusion trailing the collation of results of the governorship and state houses of assemblies election conducted on Saturday, March 18, 2023, with the winner yet to be declared 78 hours after in Kaduna State. The governorship election in Kaduna State was keenly contested between Senator Uba Sani of the ruling All Progressives Congress (APC) and Isa Asiru Kudan of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), among others.
I raised observation of the refusal of of the returning officers collation officers of some local government, particularly Jama'a, who refused to give duplicate copies of result sheets to agents of political parties at the local government, at the collation center at the local government. They had to drive kilometers, over 200 kilometers to Kaduna here. Even before declaration, they refused to give them the copy. And we raised the concern that it is very illegal and is wrong for a collation officer at the local government to conduct election, declare results, but refuse to avail copies of this result sheet to agents of political parties, and refuse to paste it even there for the public to see, because the law says after even declaration, you present copies to political parties and you paste another copy there so that everybody will see, because it's a public document once the result is announced. It's not something that should be hoarded by anybody. There are some discrepancies of figures of what our agent reported to us and what we have here been declared. So we raised it so that they will be able to look at it and address it, but they said no, that they don't want to look at it. But we are still going to collect our facts and see how we present them.
With electoral violence now a common feature in Nigeria's electoral process, civil society organizations in Nigeria are calling on the National Assembly to pass a bill creating a National Electoral Offences Commission. Adele Jinadu of the Center of Democracy and Development, CDD, and Awal Rafsanjani of the Civil Society Legislative Advocacy Center, CISLAC, made the call in Abuja during the CDD Election Analysis Center Post-Election Conference. The need for the establishment of the commission, according to the political experts, stems from the observations during the 2023 governorship and state assembly elections, where violence was well pronounced. They believe that if electoral offenders are prosecuted going forward, it will serve as a deterrent, and there is the tendency for reduced voter apathy during elections.
We should borrow a leaf from Kenya, where after the post-election violence in 2007-2008, they set up a national commission for integration and cohesion, which criminalizes the use of hate speech. I think we need to fight vigorously for that, because otherwise we will be going on a descent down into the labyrinth. I think also, as we said on Friday, the press also have a duty not to provide a platform for prominent politicians who want to inflame hate speech. I was worried because prominent, even mainstream platforms offering politicians a platform to profile ethnic groups. And I think that should be discouraged. That is not just a matter, there is a limit to free speech. Free speech is not absolute. And when the press encourages and provides platform for prominent politicians, including even governors.
That's a very, very serious deficit in our efforts to consolidate democracy. We must not reward impunity and violence to people who have, grossly violated the law. Secondly, it's very clear, as a way of minimizing the cost of violence, electoral violence in this country, we still need to revisit the demand of civil society to establish Electoral Offences Commission, because the way things are going now, if you don't have that commission to deal with electoral offences at various tiers of government, you would just be doing window dressing, because a state attorney general will be the only person, if he likes, to present any electoral offences to the court. If he does not or she does not, take interest in that, it means that people will continue to perpetuate electoral offences and they get away with it.
Following the conclusion of the March 18 governorship and Houses of Assemblies elections in 28 states, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has vowed to address proven irregularities in the just concluded elections across the country. INEC National Commissioner Festus Okoye made this known when he addressed journalists in Abuja on Sunday. The assurance came hours after Nigeria's foremost civil society organizations, the Nigeria Civil Society Situation Room, called for an inquisition into the elections, which it said had serious shortcomings following widespread reports of voter suppression, voter apathy, intimidation, ballot box snatching, and electoral violence.
We are committed to the sanctity of the process and will not hesitate to take drastic measures against proven irregularities. Allegations of voter inducement, harassment, and manipulation of results will be reviewed and addressed. Earlier today, the Commission alerted the nation to the invasion of our Obingwa local government area office in Abia State by talks during the collation of results for the governorship and state assembly elections. In contention was the collated result from the registration areas for the governorship election in that local government area. The intention was to force the collation of these contentious results. The behavior of these talks is unacceptable, and there will be a thorough review of the results.
We'll take a break here, but still to come. Federal government rakes in 10 trillion naira value-added tax VAT under President Muhammadu Buhari. There's details of the story and more right after this break.
Opinions are free, facts are sacred, but truth is universal.
How, in practical terms, can we, for instance, de-escalate the tension?
President must see himself as the President of the Federal Republic.
We know where the enemy is. 3 places, the Lake Chad Basin, the border area between Nigeria and Cameroon, and then the Sambisa Forest.
On Digi 360, we give you a complete dose of everything. Opinion, facts, and undiluted truth.
I hardly believe what politicians have said in this part of the world.
A new Nigeria is possible, a future is possible.
We delve into the issues, dissect it so that you can understand it, use it to take action.
I don't think there's any need for any governor to look for grant for ranching.
Digi 360, dissecting the issues.
Welcome back. Now here's a recap of some of our top stories. The European Union Election Observer Mission in Nigeria has disclosed that at least 21 persons have lost their lives to electoral violence in the just concluded presidential and gubernatorial elections. Speaking at a conference in Abuja, the chief observer, Barry Andrews, who condemned the killings, said there was voter apathy as voters' expectations during the elections were not met. We also told you that the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has suspended the collation of results for Saturday's governorship elections in Abia and Enugu states for further review. In a statement by the INEC National Commissioner, Festus Okoye, the Commission has suspended the collation of results in Obingwa local government area of Abia State, where its office was invaded by thugs on Sunday, March 19. Similarly, results from Nkanu East and Insuka local government areas in Enugu State have also been suspended. Now, in case you missed any of our news bulletins or for more updates, you can catch us on Limex World TV or log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at TV360 Nigeria. On Facebook, we're at TV360 Online. Advisors to the World Health Organization have urged China to release all information related to the origin of the COVID-19 pandemic after new findings were briefly shared on an international database used to track pathogens. According to the report, analysis of the data shows that raccoon dogs, which were being sold illegally at the Wuhan market, may have been carrying and possibly shedding the virus at the end of 2019. This finding is one of the strongest pieces of genetic evidence linking an animal being sold at the wet market to the coronavirus that caused the pandemic. Novak Djokovic has been ruled out of the Miami Open after the Serbian was denied an exemption that would have allowed him to enter the United States despite not being vaccinated against COVID-19. Djokovic, who missed last year's Australian Open after being deported from the country due to his vaccination status, has said he would skip Grand Slams rather than have a COVID shot. Tournament organizers say they exhausted all options in an effort to secure him a travel exemption. The 22-time Grand Slam winner has also withdrawn from the Indian Wells Open. Break and return with updates in business and sports. Stay with us.
Hello, Alhaji. Right now I'm in Abuja. No. Hello, Adamu. Right now I'm in Kano. Yes. When I get back, I'll just call you. Look, what is wrong with you? I'm talking on the phone and you are gesticulating and doing. What's wrong with you?
Daddy, where exactly are we as we speak?
Are you alright? This is Lagos.
Well, you just lied to someone that we're in Abuja.
Keep quiet. Who told you can tell an elderly person is lying?
Daddy, you just lied. And by lying, you're raising corrupt children for the future of Nigeria. That is corruption, not in my country. Corruption, not in my country.
Welcome back. Mary Kanu joins us now with business updates. Over to you now, Mary.
Thank you, Simisola. Hello and welcome to Business News. The federal government has raked in 10.1 trillion naira from the collection of value-added tax under President Muhammadu Buhari's administration. An analysis of reports from the National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, shows that the VAT earnings continue to rise annually throughout the 8-year period. This comes against the backdrop of the advice by the Minister of Finance, Zainab Ahmed, that the incoming government should increase the VAT from the current 7.5% to 10%. Meanwhile, economists have cautioned against raising the VAT from 7.5% to 10% by the incoming administration, as they argue that it would stifle the country's economic growth. We'll take a break and return with a review of the stock markets. To stay with us. Earnings season is over and the Nigerian equities market has continued its journey into the negative region as investors cautiously approach the local bourse ahead of the outcome of the Monetary Policy Committee meeting. The market depreciated further to 0.05% as investors continued profit-taking, losing 17 billion naira and leaving market capitalization below the 30 trillion naira mark. WAPIC led the decliners after its share price dropped to 38 kobo. Also on the laggards list is Ikeja Hotel, which shared 12 kobo. Now, despite the losses, market breadth closed positive with 19 gainers against 15 losers. This positivity spilled into the market summary with improvements in volume, value and turnover. A look now at some select global stocks are rising from the losses recorded in the previous week. The UK and US stocks are trading up thanks to the Swiss government's forced takeover of Credit Suisse by UBS, marking the latest efforts by governments around the world to stifle a crisis threatening the banking sector. And that's why we can see that the FTSE and Dow Jones are currently trading up at 0.87% and 0.67%. That's all on Stock Market Review. Simisala, back to you.
Thank you very much, Mary, for the update. And on this foreign scene, Chinese President Xi Jinping has arrived in Moscow for a 3-day state visit to meet with Russian leader Vladimir Putin, with Russia's war in Ukraine and China's peace proposal part of the agenda. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said the two leaders were to have informal one-on-one talks on Monday, with broader meetings to be held on Tuesday. On his part, the Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman Wang Wenbin also said that Xi's Russian visit will promote strategic coordination and practical cooperation between the two countries and inject new momentum into the development of bilateral relations. In sports, legend defender Pepe has been rolled out for Portugal's first two Euro 2024 qualifying matches later this month, the country's football federation announced on Monday. The 40-year-old Porto player already missed his side's match against Sporting Braga this weekend due to a leg injury. He had been included in new Portugal coach Roberto Martinez's first squad since the former Belgium coach took over. But medics for Portugal's Football Federation have signed him off for the matches against Liechtenstein on Thursday and Luxembourg 3 days later. That's our bulletin this evening. Many thanks for watching. I am Simisola Atiku. Bye for now.